Hola, banidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Charles. I've got my spiel, and I'm feeling like shit. Yes, I'm feeling like shit. It's been so weird. I don't know about you guys, but this past week or so has been wild emotionally. I don't even know what planet to blame it on anymore. Apparently, there's all these conjunctions and Venus and Mars and Mercury, like whatever. But I've been feeling super disjointed, and I'm gonna make this episode about me. So I'm gonna rant a bit because it's my channel, I can do whatever I want. So I've been feeling mainly disjointed because I feel I'm struggling. I've been struggling to connect with my deeper knowing. Too much going on in my head, too much going on around me. Realizing that I was super sensitive in relation with other people, and that's just probably my thing because I've been a hermit for a long time. And having someone around brings up my old people pleasing pattern, especially if I'm the host. So I've been dealing with that, and then internally struggling to connect with my intuition. And that is my biggest fear. If you would ask me what's your biggest fear, Magic Mel, it's this disconnection. Because as long as I'm connected to it, although I don't know where I'm going, I know what to lean on. Like that anchor you have with your deeper knowing is so important because otherwise you don't have a compass. And if you're someone like me in the past who would mistrust that feeling and outsource direction or opinions or advice from other people, you're just constantly at loss because you don't have a true anchor. And even if maybe you agree with someone else's opinion, it's still an outer anchor. This inner foundation, this inner stability is missing. So that's what I've been feeling over the past week. And it's seriously, yeah, it makes me feel um, disconcerted. Is that the right word? And I'm realizing, I think I'm just going to accept it. I'm realizing that I, I can only deal with people or be with people at a certain time, that I need super a lot of alone time, that I'm really just sensitive. And maybe that's just me opening up too much, or just my field being too open. I need to be able to just come back to base completely without anyone around me. So I'm realizing that about myself. So how about you? How you been feeling? I'm gonna pull some cards in a minute. But as you know, this is about, I'm sharing my journey here with you. And I also told you that I don't want to be the super toxic, positive, let's focus on the light kind of person. No, I'm really more interested in our shit. And as I'm going through it now, I'm interested because I'm curious. Okay, where is all this shit coming from? Haven't I dealt with this in the past? Why is it coming up again? I guess it's there to be reviewed, released once again. But yeah, it's one thing to do that on your own, and it's one thing having people around you that I personally then feel obliged to. So, so I've been feeling like that, and a little bit like psychic overload also. And yeah, realizing that I need to be able to, like you're like a house and you can open your doors when you're ready and you feel like it, and you can close your doors or windows when you feel like it. I'm realizing I very much need to operate like that. I can only open my doors, my windows at certain times. I cannot have a constantly open and, not be clear about my boundaries. So I'm figuring out my energetic boundaries, even my spatial boundaries, and not beat myself up for it. That is the key. That's been the key also this past week, where I'm witnessing my old critic coming up, is trying to beat me up, trying to say, you're not supposed to feel like this. Why are you feeling like this? You should be like this. But my inner feeling is there. No? So that's where this conflict happens between what you're feeling and what you think you should be feeling. No? And the danger then is to to play that game, that internal battle, where you're fighting yourself. Basically, you're fighting your own feeling because you can't really deny your feelings. I mean, we can try and push them away, repress them, but that doesn't really help. They will come back full force, even worse. It's like shaking a champagne bottle, no? So stuff I'm realizing, and this connection with intuition. I feel my mind at the moment being super loud, like stringing the stories, the shoulds and have tos, and the need for control. Like I'm in resistance. I feel my being's in resistance because perhaps at a deeper level I'm asked to transform again or surrender, and my mind is really resisting here. It wants to stay in control. It wants to feel safe, safe in the familiarity of things, which is questionable, no? Because what is familiar doesn't necessarily equate real safety. So this connection you have with your intuition, with your inner knowing, is what gives you the stability, because it's your inner voice, no? So have you been feeling similar? If not now, in the past, have you felt this disconnect and the emptiness and the disorientation that comes with feeling disconnected, or with hearing your mind scream louder than that inner voice? If yes, I'm right there with you. Okay, I've vented now. I can pull some cards. Vamos? Let's see. Because I don't even know what conjunction we're in anymore. It doesn't really matter. I just know that this past full moon was strong. So let's see. Maybe we can ask, what are we... I'm tapping into your Ask Your team, angel, spirit guides, gods and goddesses. What are you currently in resistance to, in resistance with, or resisting, period? Are we recording? We are. Thank you so much. What are you resisting? And maybe it will resonate with me. Are you resisting looking at the world with a beginner's mind? Page of Wands is all about that now. It's look at him, looking at this new acquisition, or it's almost like a new magical wand that is capable of or opening new horizons, new portals. But look at him, he's looking at like, what is this? What can I do with this? So it's this invitation to look at things with a totally fresh perspective. Are you being challenged by that? Do you feel held back by your old modus operandi, like your old way of operating, your old familiar mind patterns? In what way are you invited to look at things from a new perspective, from a different perspective? I think we had this in the last reading, no? Where it was about stepping into a new paradigm, stepping into a new portal with the world. So that's very much about new ways of being, no? That's what we spoke about. So if you've been in resistance, your mind trying to control things, just like my mind has been in resistance, then what is the next step? What can we do? Because I'm really right there with you. The first thing is to accept, not to not battle against ourselves. So to accept, and that alone creates more allowing. Because if you start judging the way you're feeling, then you enter into a vicious cycle, no, of self-beating, of self-flagellation, and it spirals down. So creating some psychic space is what I've been trying to do as well. Compassion, sitting with the discomfort, sitting with the contradiction, sitting with the unpleasant feelings without going into the battle. I mean, it's been a challenge, I admit it, because my old pattern is, raising, the dragon's raising its head of like pushing and pulling and beating and molding and expecting and shoulds and have to, no? So can you and can we create some space by just breathing into it and like literally total surrender, no? Mental surrender. It's like, okay, full acceptance. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm feeling. This is where the situation is right now. I'm not going to force it to be something else. I'm not going to idealize it in my mind, thinking, well, I should be different, or this should be different, or you should be feeling different. No, we're just going to accept everything, the whole shit, the terrible emotions, the guilt, whatever comes up, the shame, sit with it. and then look at this wand, almost like this invitation to create a new portal, a new insight with curiosity. So to look at our shit mess with curiosity. Can you do that? Can I do that? Can we do that? And curiosity requires spaciousness and looking at it from a little bit of a distance. No, not being in the shit. I mean, accepting the shit, but not sludge against it, like in quicksand where you drown very fast. It's kind of just being still and stop thrashing around and just accept, allow. Then we create some space. Because the more we struggle against it, the more we get entangled. So can you create some space and look at yourself, the situation, the emotions with some, maybe even humorous curiosity? Because remember, guys, if we don't look at things with humor, we are doomed, for Christ's sake. Maybe not even Christ, like for our sake, you know what I mean? I try and look at it also like Magic Mel, bigger picture. Don't get so entrenched in your own mental conundrums. Can we look at it with curiosity? So, dropping the resistance and looking at things with curiosity. What are you asked to release? Because even though it's not the full moon, we always got shit to release, to let go of, to allow the true me to shine through. I know it's not fucking easy. If it were easy, I mean, I guess it's simple, but it's not easy. Like, I think in our minds, we know what to do, but to actually do it, it's a different story. What did I say? What are you asked to release? So I don't know if this came out in the resistance position or upright, but basically all talking about navigating into smoother waters. Can we resist the mental can we release the mental baggage that is kind of weighing us down, weighing the boat down? And can we navigate from these choppy waters into serenity, into more spaciousness, into more calm mental waters? And how do we do that? That's the question. Now it's all good. I mean, we can say like, okay, I want it to be different, but what do I actually do? Breathing, zoning out, imagining that your mind expands left and right into the horizon. Literally, like physically expanding our consciousness, because we get entrenched in tunnel vision, no? When there's a problem, with a situation, when there's a difficulty, a challenge, we go like zoom in. And then it becomes claustrophobic. When we close our eyes and imagine our mind expanding left and right, expanding up and down into the galaxy, into the universe, then we literally mentally create space, to potentially look at things differently and to see the swords for what they are, mental baggage, and to calmly navigate, zooming out, allow more spaciousness, allow more horizon to enter our mind, our being. Yeah. And breathing also. I try to breathe. I try to exercise because I feel this kind of restless energy coming up. Exercise. When I exercise, it automatically makes me breathe more rhythmically. It releases energy. Yeah. So what can we do? We can close our eyes, expand our consciousness, breathe deeply. Inhaling deeply, exhaling twice as long. Calms our parasympathetic nervous system. Do sport, go out in nature. Create energetic, spatial, psychological boundaries, be in our own space, sit with ourselves. Yeah. Releasing the mental baggage to navigate to calmer waters. Yeah. Next. What does your soul want you to know? Thank you so much. What does your soul want you to know? Your soul wants you to know that it's time for Judgment Day. Time for a whole rebirth. New paradigm, no? Look at Gabriel. It's like, you need to undergo another ego death and shake yourself loose, stand there naked, free of baggage, mental baggage, and look at things fresh. Look at things fresh with humor. Look at ourselves with humor. even when we're like covered in shit, in our own shit. especially in that, especially in those moments, because it's easy to like love ourselves and be all like, whatever, positive when you feel good. But how about when you feel crap? Can we still be compassionate with ourselves? Can we still lovingly laugh at ourselves rather than beating ourselves up? Asking you like I'm asking myself. I had something to say there about judgment. Oh yeah, can we basically, I don't know about you, like what situation you're in, but I guess you're maybe dealing with people in some sense, I guess. If you are, then probably, depending on the proximity, is bringing up your own old ways of relating. And we spoke about practicing a new way of being in the last reading. And that involves relating to people in a new way because, as you probably know, or as you, just like me, we weren't modeled healthy ways of interacting with people, of relating to other people, not even relating to ourselves. No, we had to kind of parent ourselves, reparent ourselves, heal our wounds through loving ourselves, seeing our patterns, loving ourselves through the old conditioning back into one piece, because the trauma wounded us in such a way to separate and fragment our consciousness. So we did that work now, and here we are now practicing new ways of being with what? With ourselves in relationship to other people. So if you also feel that you're being challenged in your own relationships with other people, can we have compassion with ourselves as we struggle? Like this morning, I had a conversation with my friend here, and I didn't even know what to say, but I just said, "Can we talk?" Because I felt pressure building up and my mind spinning stories, guilt tripping myself and all these assumptions in my brain. And actually speaking at least built a bridge to the other person and let the other person into my own mental internal conundrum. So can we be brave enough to even say, you know what, I want to talk and I don't even know what to say. I'm not making sense to myself. I'm feeling like this. I I'm not even in a solution state, but at least I'm trying to relate. Because we are trying to figure out new ways of being. And as much as managing me as a hermit, I do want to practice being in relation to other people and not close myself completely off. Because my mind does say, hey, isn't it easier to be on your own? And I say, of course, it's easier. Because you're not being triggered or you're not being challenged. But is that the way forward? And I'm not saying, there's always a balance, no? Like, I know I need a lot of time on my own, and that's just the way it is. I need to be a lot in my own energy, but I don't want to cut people off. So where can we find the balance? Where can we have our own needs met and our other people's needs met? Where can we compromise without abandoning ourselves? No, because that abandonment, self-abandonment, has been the big issue in the past. Self-betrayal, self-abandonment, and that's, I guess, where my inner child is scared that I do that again if I'm too long with someone. I'm scared to abandon myself, or I'm scared to blur the boundaries, which I, in my experience, I already have. I'm like, I find it challenging to come back to my own, what is mine, what belongs to another person. I admit it. It's I find it challenging. But can we sit with the discomfort and have compassion and just not have a resolution, or just be with the shitty feelings without trying to fix it? Because that's, for example, one of my immediate reactions is, okay, I'm not supposed to feel like this. How can I feel better? Instead of just allowing the shit to be there. That alone is courageous. So if you're feeling something similar currently in the past, sit with me in the shit mud. I'm not saying we're going to be stuck there forever, but the less we push against it, the more we allow some new insight, a different perspective to arise. Yeah, because what, as Einstein said, we cannot fix the problem from the same state of consciousness as the problem. So how can we rise to a wider perspective by not struggling against it, by not resisting, pushing and pulling, because it's exhausting. Yeah, so those are the 3 cards. Let me know if anything resonates. Definitely resonates for me. It's crazy. Put it this way. Yeah, and if you've been feeling like super hypersensitive, I mean, I'm not an astrologer. Do check what's going on. I know something was conjunct Jupiter's whatever. Venus is now in Mercury or Mercury's direct. I'm like, there's always something, no? Do check it out and let me know. I need to watch the other readers as well. The other astrologers. See what's going on up there. Because it's been definitely wonky on my end. This is it. Let me know if anything resonates. And guys, this is Smells Magic official. I go through shit as well. Like, share, and subscribe if anything resonates. And I do private readings and I do coaching, and I'm thinking of getting my own coaching again because, hey, a coach is not immune to evolution, to challenges. We're human beings. But we need each other, no? To gain a different perspective, to share our tools, and to perhaps guide and support. So if you're interested, details are in the description box below. And remember, we have a Patreon tribe called Magic Mel and the Love Rebels.